Hello everybody, and you're very welcome again to another show. And today I have another incredible guest, and her name is Giada. And Giada is a clinical massage therapist. And Giada was originally, or is originally from Toronto in Canada, and she came to Galway 2 years ago, where she is now living and working from. So Giada, you're very, very welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Johann. Thank you so much.
Can you pronounce your second name for us?
Yeah, it's Labrecque.
Labrecque. Okay, Giada Labrecque. Okay, great, fantastic. So Giada, you are a clinical massage therapist. And can you tell us a little bit, first of all, about who you are and what you really care about, you know, what your mission is, your vision is, what it is that you really care about. And we'll talk about how that brought you into the whole world of massage and holistic healing.
Yeah, definitely. So it actually started with Reiki energy healing. When I came out of university, I met a woman who did Reiki, and she was reading my tarot cards, and she said to me, "You're going to be my student." And since I had just dropped out of university, I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be a student of something." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what do you teach?" And she says, "I teach Reiki," and I'd never heard of Reiki before. So I was like, "Okay, I'll try it out." And within the first few months of practicing it, I found it was incredible. It was miraculous. The things that I was able to do with it, not just for myself, but for other people. And so that's where I guess my journey with taking care of others really started. And just knowing that you could do so much with so little. I just found it so powerful. So that's where it started. And I just found that Reiki was not something that a lot of people knew about, never mind went out of their way for. So I kind of just let it be a side thing that I just did almost as like a party trick, you know.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was a few years later, I was a bike messenger and a bartender, and I was constantly in pain from working all the time, being on a bike all day, and then, you know, moving kegs and, you know, slinging beers all night. And
wow.
Yeah. And I was speaking to a security guard who was like this big dude. And I said to him, I was like, "Rob, what do you do outside of being a security guard?" And he goes, "I'm a massage therapist." I was like, "You, a massage therapist?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, it's great. I make my own hours. I can take as many holidays as I want. I can have as many tattoos as I want." And so all these things were like checking off kind of my list of things that I wanted for myself. And so I figured first I better go get a massage to know what it's like. And sure enough, after one treatment, it was like 50 pounds had been taken off my back. So many of my different aches and pains that I thought, that's it. This is me for the rest of my life in pain like this, just vanished. So it was like, not only do I need this, but everyone needs this. And you know, I've had a lot of family members that I've seen kind of struggle and suffer through different ailments, conditions, and I hate that feeling of being helpless, that like, you know, here's this person I love and they're suffering and there's nothing I can do. So with Reiki and massage, I was really starting to feel empowered in being able to help others. So I ended up signing up for school a week later after that massage, and a year and a half after that, I graduated and immediately started my own practice. It was called The Body Mechanic, and the clinic was called The Massage Garage, and I treated. Yeah, and I treated all my bike messenger buddies and at a discounted rate because, you know, massage therapy isn't exactly affordable for people who make minimum wage.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think that massage therapy should be seen as a luxury. I think it should be seen as a basic human right, because everybody has a body, everybody experiences pain, and, you know, this Western model of medicine just doesn't work for a lot of people. You know, they go to a doctor and pay good money to go to a doctor, and they say, you know, my back's in pain or my knee's in pain. And what do? They either want to put you on drugs or cut you open. But there's such a realm of holistic therapy that people can go to, and it doesn't even take much. It can take one treatment, it could take 3 treatments, but like their aches and pains could be gone forever instead of taking a pill that just band-aids, you know, the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. What I'm hearing in your speaking there, Giada, is, you know, really giving people the power to self-care for themselves, basically. That's really what I'm hearing in your whole conversation, and that you really care about that people have their own power, because yeah, there's a place for doctors and all of that, but you know what, we can do so much more for ourselves before going to the doctor. And we have this sick care system, but where's the healthcare system, you know, maintaining our health? And you know, it's not even just physical, as you say, it's mental and our mood. Like, we can be in such bad form when we're in pain, you know. So it affects all different levels. And I really hear what you're saying about the empowerment and giving people power to you know, to self-educate themselves and give them a few tools. So what is it you do, Giada? How do you actually empower people? I know you have a book as well called what's the name of your book?
Self-care solutions at work.
Yeah. So tell us why you wrote that.
Well, I guess it came from my years of working with office workers who all kind of had the same trademark aches and pains, stress, and I just found myself feeling like, you know, always repeating myself, saying the same, teaching the same things, and I thought eventually, like, I've said this so many times that I need to write it down. I need to have it accessible to people, that they don't need to come to me to hear it. They can just open the book and be like, oh yeah, this is the stretch for this problem. This is the strengthening exercise for this issue. It's really just, yeah, a way of, like you said, empowering people, educating people, giving them the power in their hands to take care of their own issues.
And you call yourself a healer, a helper, and a giver. And I can really hear that in the book, you know, really sharing that information and not withholding it from people. And that's something else that you really care about. And there is a lot of other therapists out there that, you know, they want paying clients, so they hold on to information or don't only give out a limited amount or whatever. And there are people out there like that, but you're a real giver. And, you know, you just want people to really have the power to care for themselves. So you share all that information. That's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think if people know the information and they can include it into their daily habits, not only do they extend their kind of life and their, you know, their positive experiences. Like you said, when people are in pain, they are not the best versions of themselves. And I know it from personal experience. I was hit by a bus in 2014, and the pain that I was in for upwards of a year to a year and a half, I was miserable all the time, and that made me have miserable interactions with other people. I made other people miserable, and then as soon as my pain was gone, that misery left me as well, you know.
Wow.
So why should I withhold information if it's going to make people happy, you know?
Yeah, so you've experienced that, so you're living evidence of that, and you know what that is like. So you're really passionate about making sure that people have that information and can look after themselves. What kind of, so I hear you do Reiki. Reiki is actually, that was one of my first therapies. I'm a Reiki practitioner myself as well, and massage therapist. And Reiki was the first modality that I learned, and I was blown away by the energy concept of it all, the life force energy. And a lot of people consider it as like woo-woo, but you know, like, combined with the physical therapies you do and the Reiki massage, like, we are energy. And if you think about it, if you walk into a room, you know, in a family dynamic situation, and the mother and father after having a fight, and you walk into the room, you can feel that energy. So that's energy, and everything is energy. And when you really bring people back into balance with this energy, and there's loads of different types of modalities for energy healing, Reiki being one of them, you know, that is just so profound. And, you know, if people don't want to be touched or whatever, Reiki is a fantastic one. So there's other ones you do as well. So you do massage, on-site chair massage, and then you also do therapies in the office environment. So they'd be more precise, I suppose. So you'd have people leaning over a keyboard. You'd have people with carpal tunnel, shoulders. So what's going on there, and what kind of tips can you give for people in relation to minding themselves and caring for their body and, you know, working in that kind of environment?
Yeah, body awareness is huge. I feel like everybody should be taught about the anatomy, how it all works together, and what it means to have good posture, and what it means when you have poor posture, and what it results in.
Completely agree.
There are a ton of conditions that come from poor posture. When it comes to carpal tunnel, most of it comes from inflammation and repetitive strain. Unfortunately, if you're sitting at a computer typing all day, you can't avoid that repetitive strain. But what you can do is kind of prolong the shelf life of your wrists and your hands and all that. And what it comes down to is stretching regularly and reducing inflammation in healthy ways instead of just taking anti-inflammatories. Maybe every day doing ice arm baths, for instance. That's something massage therapists are doing. We also work with our hands. We work with our arms. And we have our own versions of repetitive strain. If you soak your arms in ice water at least a few times a week, that reduces any inflammation and swelling that you might have in the joints. I know it doesn't sound pleasant, but it actually works wonders.
Yeah, I've heard of cold therapy and cold showers as well, taking cold showers.
Yeah.
Really great for reducing inflammation.
Cold showers are, a lot of people, especially in the wintertime, they're just like, I don't want to do that. But you'll find that the more you do it, the more you want to do it. It becomes not addictive, but like you can't help but like laugh at yourself when it's happening, you know, because it's not the end of the world to be in a cold shower. And it actually does make you feel so good. It's good for your mental health. It can help you quit cigarettes. Like there's so many benefits to contrast hydro is what we call it.
Yeah. I've got friends who go swimming regularly in the sea, in the ocean, and they have a group and they go out on a Sunday morning now and they do this, whether it's summertime or wintertime, they go for a swim in the sea. But that combined with the salt water and being embodied in that is very grounding as well. And because we naturally are made of water, so much water. And but yeah, it's a great resilience for the body as well. I think, you know, for fighting off any, because we do have inflammation all the time, but it's when it's excess inflammation like anything else. And with the cold therapy, it helps to the body to be more able to handle that, I suppose. So yeah,
definitely. It also improves your circulatory system, right? It makes your heart pump, and like every time you do a contrast, every time you jump into that cold water or turn the water to cold, what happens is your body sends all the warm blood that's in the periphery, your arms, your legs, on the kind of outside, and sends it to your vital organs to protect them, right? Because the body's like, oh, cold, we need to protect the vital organs to keep you alive. But in effect, your entire periphery, your arms, your legs, all the muscles are getting fresh, rich, oxygen-rich, nutrient-rich blood. And every time you do a contrast, you get a whole new wave of circulation. So the more you do it, the better it is for you.
Isn't the body so intelligent? Like, really?
If you want to believe in miracles, then study the anatomy. I always tell people that. Yeah. It is an absolute miracle.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think we don't have to go out and get qualifications, but we do have a responsibility to look after our bodies, because look, our bodies are so intelligent and they're always trying to bring us back into balance. They're always, you know, if you get an ache or a pain, there's a reason for that. Your body's actually talking to you. Yeah, I think we lost you there, Giada. I was just talking right there. You're back. Okay, and we're back. So we just had a bit of technical problems there. So I was just saying, Giada, that you know, the body is so intelligent, and really we're not really respectful of our bodies, in truth. You know, if we get a little pain, what do? We pop a pill to numb the pain so we can continue on. But our body is actually talking to us, like literally talking to us when it's giving us those signs. So, you know, really listen to your body and what it's saying to you, and because it's doing that for a reason. And our bodies are there to serve us. And if you look after your body, your body will look after you. Really, and I think what you're doing, Giada, is incredible. You've also got I want to talk about, you've got a Kickstarter campaign running at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit about that, about the Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I never like to impose on people, especially when it comes to money. But what my goal is requires kind of a bigger budget than what I have. So I told you I wrote the book. It's called Self-Care Solutions at Work.
Mhm.
And so far, you know, I've paid for all of that out of pocket. Even starting my businesses, everything's come out of pocket. And so now with this next venture, especially because of what's happened over the last few months, I'm very nervous to continue paying out of pocket and going into debt. So really what it comes down to is I need help with, you know, paying for the videography, for the website creation, for the SEO, the marketing. These are all things that like they actually cost quite a bit of money. A lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
how much goes into that. But you know, it's not that I'm just asking people to donate and they don't get anything back. There are actually plenty of things that I'm, you know, willing to give. And you know, even if the reward wasn't enough for somebody, if they wanted to contact me and say like, oh, well, would you also do, you know, a consultation or whatever? Yes, I'm happy to give back, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like my goal is to make this so successful that I could give everybody their money back and plus interest. You know, I
Yeah.
don't want anybody to go out of their way, but also whoever can help and whoever believes in making the workplace a, you know, a warmer environment, a place where there is a culture and an awareness around workplace wellness. You know, I've worked in offices, I've been treated like a number, and I've come home with aches and pains, and I've injured myself in a workplace and asked them to help me pay for physiotherapy and acupuncture just to resolve the issues, and they're like, no, we don't do that, but when you're better, you're welcome to come back.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, they have budgets for, you know, other types of training, like training them on the software that they're using or whatever, you know, and to help with the business, to help them to perform. But what about their mental health and their mental performance? And, you know, I think when you look after your staff and when your staff feel cared for and feel like they matter, not like a number, and I've been there with the number thing, yeah, and I completely agree with you. So we really need to really see the employees, the managers and the, you know, the company really need to see the employees and really value and care for them. And I think by doing that, you'll get so much more and they're going to be happier at work, you know. Yep. And I mean, there is a huge number of people who are PAYE workers, paid workers, and they're unhappy in their job, like over 50% of people. Like, I'll say that again, over 50% of people unhappy in their job, and they're just there because they need the money to pay the bills. What if they were more happy in their job and they'd be so much more productive? So I hear what you're saying. It's really important to create that awareness of wellness in the workplace. And
a culture.
You know,
a culture of it, and, you know, an acceptance of it, because, you know, a lot of people tend to just kind of paint wellness with this brush of like, oh, it's hippy dippy, it's airy fairy. Why? No, it's not. And, you know, it's like, it's important to take care of yourself, and you don't want to be miserable while you work. You want to feel like you matter. So I really am embracing this paradigm shift that we're seeing now, you know, especially if you're on LinkedIn, there's a lot of people talking about this, and it needs to be talked about more.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it does. You know? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And for people to take responsibility for the health and to do their little bit as well as individuals. And you know what, when we are all caring for ourselves, we're interacting with people and we're having relations with people every day. So it's going to have an impact on that. And if you want to go bigger, the world as a whole, really. And I think that's a huge part that's missing right down from an individual level. So I think the work that you're doing, Giada, is absolutely incredible. And this Kickstarter campaign that you're running as well, I think it's really going to do very well because you have a very good intention and a passion behind it as well. That's going to serve everybody. So you have rewards, you were saying. So you have your book as well, and you have online courses. And is that what you want to do? That's something else you want to get out of it?
What I want to create is an online resource of all the content of the book. So that, you know, people respond differently to different to information in different ways, right? So some people prefer to read it, some people prefer to watch it, some people prefer to be coached live in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try to kind of cover as many of those bases as possible so that people can get the information how they will receive it, the best. So I've written the book, and that's all ready to go to the editor. And so now I'm working with a videographer to create detailed instruction videos on all the different stretches and strengthening exercises that we do.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that, yes, the book will explain to you very easily and simply how to accomplish this stretch and what it helps you with. But in the videos, I'll also kind of dive in a bit more into like what conditions this addresses and, how long to hold a stretch for, what to do while you're stretching, how to stretch in a way that you're not taking too much time out of your daily schedule, how to like kind of sneak it into your day. But
yeah, you could do it while you're in the bathroom, or you could do it while you're in the car. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah, while the kettle's boiling, while you're brushing your teeth. Like every day I do stretches and strengthening while I brush my teeth.
And it's just a habit, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a matter of doing it regularly and often, and get into the habit of doing it as well. I just want to mention, Giada, I actually met you on Pat Slattery's The Outstanding Network. That's how we connected. And for anybody listening or watching the video, if you're watching the video, Giada did a presentation for Pat Slattery a few days ago. So if you want to connect in with the Outstanding Network as well, and Giada is on their network and with us it's a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. It's on, isn't it? Yeah. So so Giada gave some presentations with incredible stretches, and I'm going to have a video testimonial for you as well during the week, Giada, as well, because you really just incredible what this lady knows. So sorry, so much your intro. I'm just really excited. So so tell me what else you have planned for the future, what you're going to produce out of this.
Yeah, I'd also, once I get the book out and the video resource done of the book's content, I'd like to create a few more books in the same vein. One would be self-care solutions with kids, self-care solutions at home, self-care solutions with superfoods, because there's so many natural remedies that I talk to people about all the time. And it's simple things like rose water or castor oil, things that people don't really think about, or like, even castor oil. It's my grandparents' generation that would have used castor oil for everything.
Yeah.
But people have just kind of forgotten about the benefits of something so simple,
Yeah, and you know what? There could be half a dozen stuff out in the kitchen that you could use, natural remedies.
Exactly. But people don't know how to use it. They look at a spice cabinet and get overwhelmed and intimidated. So they're like, oh, salt and pepper, those are my spices, and I'll stick to that.
Wow.
But I really love talking to people about natural foods, natural medicines, and what they can do for you, because from my own experience of what I know them to do. So those are the three.
What would be one of your superfoods, Giada, that you would recommend? I know there's a few, there's loads of them, but if what ones would you recommend for inflammation, say, or pain relief, or detox, or whatever?
Chaga I've been working with chaga for over 10 years. I love it. It's abundant in the entire northern hemisphere of the world. It's a fungus that grows on birch trees. It is antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. Believe it or not, it's antifungal, and it's a mushroom. It kills cancer cells. Yeah, it is. It's one of the strongest immune boosters on the planet. It's got one of the highest number of antioxidants. It's actually one of the most ancient medicines, because the oldest specimen of human that they've ever found, like frozen in ice, he had a little medicine bag on him, and chaga was in his medicine bag.
Spell chaga. How do you spell it?
Chaga. Chaga.
Okay, I'm going to look that up, because I heard of reishi mushroom and Ganoderma. They're kind of the same species. I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
So, oh God, okay, right, I'm going to check that. I've never heard that one. Wow.
Most people haven't. And that's what's funny about it, is that it is so abundant. Wherever the birch trees grow, you will find chaga. And the birch tree is actually one of the most healing trees. And, and chaga is a parasite mushroom that leaches the healing properties out of the birch tree and condenses it and concentrates it. Okay.
Wow, that's
So this
incredible.
fungus doesn't look like a typical mushroom. It actually looks like burnt wood, and it's very dense. So you don't want to chew on it. What you would do is ground it down into a powder and make a tea out of it. And now you can find things, supplements that are like chaga, kind of reishi combined with
Okay.
coffee.
Mm.
You can find it. And I swear by it. I don't know. People who have like cold sores, which, they usually last 2 to 3 weeks, and they're very unpleasant and painful.
Yeah.
After, a day after you drink the chaga, it's gone.
Wow. Oh my God. That is so, yeah, because we're living in a very toxic world at the moment, between the food sources and plastics even, and drinking more out of the plastic bottles, and, places where you wouldn't even imagine. So there's more toxicity, and even in the air, the air pollution, stuff we're spraying in the house, all of that combined, and it's the accumulation, and even
Yeah.
EMF is toxic as well. So yeah, so we really do need to be having those superfoods, and that mushroom is a fantastic
Actually,
great
one
source.
thing that I would recommend for purifying water and reducing EMF
Yeah.
is shungite. Have you heard of shungite?
No.
Shungite is a stone that comes from Russia. It's a very dark stone. It looks almost like coal, but it's more dense, and it purifies water and reduces EMF. I have it
Okay,
on the back
great.
of my cell phone actually right now.
Wow. Okay, great. Right. I'm going to remember that one as well. Wow, you're full of information.
I could talk to you about this stuff all day. That's why I'm putting it in books so that people can access the information whenever they want.
So not only are you you're so much more than a clinical therapist, you're just an insight to all holistic elements and of health and well-being, and wow, superfoods and everything else.
As much as I can be. My first business I ever started was called Jade of All Trades, because
Wow.
my name is Jade in Italian, and I was kind of like a jack of all trades, but Jade of all trades.
Oh my God! Oh wow! I love the names, and the mechanic massage therapist as well. I love that as
The
well
body
when you start
mechanic.
the body mechanic. Yeah, that's great. So you're great, quirky names, but very very great, brilliant. So Giada, so your campaign ends on July the 28th.
It does, yeah.
So which is very soon. So we need to get funds into your account. So I'm going to put the link for the Kickstarter in the show notes,
Yeah.
so people can donate there. And depending on how much they donate, they get various different rewards. Is that how it works? Yeah. So depending on what you donate, and if people wanted to reach out to Giada as well, yeah, they can connect with you. How is the best way for people to connect with you or find you, Giada?
I can give you my email, which is info@officekneads.ie. Office Kneads is spelled OFFICEKNEADS, like needs, like needing a back.
Love it. Love it. Quirky
And
names
even
again, brilliant.
yeah, and even if you go to my website, the first button you find is called Book Free Consultation, and they can book in a consultation with me through that.
Brilliant. So it's officekneads.ie or .com?
Yeah, officekneads.ie. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, great. So yeah, so look, this is a fantastic campaign that Giada is working on at the moment, and really helping to empower people. Imagine that, empower other people to be their own self-care advocates, to empower them and give them information, educating them so that they can help themselves and save themselves a few bob in the long run going to doctor, and save their health and possibly relationships. It's endless, what you're helping people with. It really is. So Giada, we're coming to the very end. And I just want to ask you, just to wrap up, if I was to ask you to give people a message, what would be your parting message that would really help to inspire people to go down to help you, and with the work that you're doing, what parting message would you like to leave people with?
I would really just like to tell people to be open to natural therapies. We've been programmed to think that Western medicine is the way, and from my own personal experience, it's not. Yes, it has its place, don't get me wrong, but there are so many natural ways of taking care of yourself, and people have been doing this for thousands of years. The information was taken away from us in different ways, but it is coming back with full force. And be open to it. Open your mind to it. Look it up. Talk to people. Ask the questions. Call me. Contact me. Ask me questions, and I can even tell you who to talk to. It's amazing what you can do with things,
Wow.
like you said, right in your cupboard. You know.
That is incredible. What a great way to end the show. That is fantastic. So, and really reaching out to people and calling them to, you know, really being responsible for who you are. Yeah, it's just incredible. So, Giada, thank you so much for joining me today and for all your wisdom and your insights and sharing all that with us. I'm really, really grateful. And people, don't forget to support Giada on her Kickstarter campaign as well. It would really mean so much to her and everybody else in the world as well. It's really truly an amazing program that she's running. So do reach out and help Giada. Thank you so much, Giada, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.